Imagine the dawn breaking over vast orchards, where the air hums with the promise of something extraordinary. But what if I told you that the simple glass of apple juice you sip each morning is born from a hidden war zone of roaring machines, relentless precision, and unyielding pressure? Welcome to the secret heart of apple juice production, where raw fruit battles against time and decay in a symphony of steel and steam. Hold on tight, this isn't just a process, it's an epic saga of transformation, where every drop is forged in the fires of industry. Let's dive in, because once you see behind the curtain, you'll never look at your breakfast the same way again. Picture this, endless rows of apple trees stretching under a golden sky, their branches heavy with fruit that's been waiting for this exact moment. But harvesting isn't a gentle pluck, it's a calculated strike. Farmers don't just wander through the groves, they stalk the orchards like hunters, armed with tools that measure the very soul of the apple. We're talking about Brix levels, that magical number revealing the sugar content locked inside. Too low, and the juice will be flat, lifeless. Too high, and it risks fermentation before it even hits the factory floor. These experts track the sun's path, the night's chill, even the whisper of wind through the leaves, waiting for the perfect alignment. When the Brix hits that sweet spot, around 12 to 15 degrees for most varieties, the harvest erupts. Machines thunder to life, shaking trees with mechanical fury, sending apples cascading like red and green rain. Workers in high-vis vests move like shadows, sorting the fallen bounty under floodlights that pierce the twilight. But here's the thrill, not every apple makes the cut. Some are too small, too scarred by nature's whims. Yet, in this world, imperfection isn't waste, it's opportunity. Those blemished beauties, bruised by storms or kissed too harshly by the sun, are often the ripest, bursting with flavor that perfect supermarket apples can only dream of. They get scooped up, destined for the crush, because in juice, looks don't matter, only the essence within. Now, the real drama begins as these apples are whisked away in massive trucks, racing against the clock. Spoilage lurks like a silent assassin, every hour counts. The convoy barrels down highways, engines growling, until they reach the fortress, the factory. Massive gates swing open, and you're plunged into a realm where humans are mere overseers in a mechanical colossus. Conveyor belts snake through the air like endless serpents, carrying the apples into the maw of the beast. First comes the wash, but this isn't your kitchen sink scrub. Oh no! These fruits plunge into vast pools of swirling water, bubbling with sanitizers that banish dirt, pesticides, and unseen microbes. Imagine the scene, apples bobbing like survivors in a stormy sea, jets of water blasting from all sides, stripping away the earth's grip. Steam rises in thick clouds, carrying the faint, earthy scent of the orchard. Workers in white suits monitor from catwalks above, their eyes sharp for any intruder, a leaf, a twig, that could jam the works. The pressure is palpable. One contaminated batch could halt the entire line, costing thousands. But as the apples emerge, dripping and gleaming, they're reborn, ready for the next trial. Feel the tension build as they ascend on elevators of steel, clanking upward into the sorting chambers. Here, high-speed cameras flash like lightning, scanning each apple in milliseconds. AI algorithms, cold and unforgiving, judge them, size, shape, color, density. The rejects tumble away into chutes for animal feed or compost, a merciful end. But the chosen ones? They surge forward, separated by variety, sweet Fugus with their honeyed crunch, tart Granny Smiths that pucker the lips like a sour kiss, and floral galas that add a whisper of elegance. Why the segregation? Because balance is everything in this alchemy. A master blender, part scientist, part artist, hovers over control panels, deciding the fate of each batch. Too much sweetness, and the juice turns cloying, too much acid, and it's undrinkable. The secret recipe shifts with the seasons, 50% Fuji for that baseline richness, 30% Granny Smith to cut through with zing, and 20% Gala to weave in subtle notes of pear and spice. But it's never set in stone. If a heatwave has mellowed the Granny Smiths, the blender dials up their proportion, tasting microsamples in a sterile lab where beakers bubble and spectrometers hum. One wrong move, and the entire run is off. Flavor profiles must match the brand's promise, batch after batch, year after year. The air thickens with anticipation as the apples converge, ready to surrender their identities. Suddenly, the pace explodes. The apples hurtle into the grinder, massive blades whirring like the jaws of a mechanical predator. Metal teeth tear through flesh and skin, reducing the fruit to a pulpy mash in seconds. The sound is deafening, a grinding roar that echoes off concrete walls, vibrating through your bones. Juice begins to flow, but it's raw, untamed, flecked with seeds and stems. Conveyor belts rush this slurry onward, under presses that squeeze with hydraulic might, extracting every last drop. Imagine the pressure, tons of force bearing down, the pulp compressing like a vice, golden liquid gushing forth in rivers. Steam hisses from vents, carrying the intoxicating aroma of fresh apples, sweet, tangy, alive. But danger looms. Oxidation is the enemy, turning that vibrant gold to muddy brown. So, the factory fights back with vacuum chambers that suck out air, or blankets of nitrogen gas that shield the juice like an invisible armor. Workers in masks dart between machines, tweaking valves, their hands a blur. One slip, a clogged filter, a temperature spike, and spoilage spreads like wildfire. The line must keep moving. Downtime is death in this high-stakes game. Slow the camera now, zoom in on the pasteurization tanks, where the juice faces its fiery trial. Massive vats loom like ancient cauldrons, heated to precise temperatures, around 160 degrees Fahrenheit for just seconds in flash pasteurization. Flames lick at the undersides, controlled by computers that monitor every fluctuation. The heat kills bacteria, those microscopic saboteurs that could turn the juice sour or worse. But overdo it, and you scorch the flavor, losing that fresh-picked essence. It's a razor-thin line, walked by engineers who sweat under the glow of digital displays. As the juice emerges, cooled in an instant by heat exchangers, it's clearer, safer, but the battle isn't over. Filtration awaits, spinning centrifuges that whirl at blinding speeds, flinging out pulp and sediment. The liquid clarifies, turning from cloudy to crystal, but purists know, some pulp stays for that authentic mouthfeel, a nod to the fruit's wild origins. Build the crescendo as we approach the blending hall, a vast chamber where tanks tower like skyscrapers. Here, the masterstroke happens. Streams of juice from different varieties merge in orchestrated chaos, pumps throbbing like hearts. The blender tastes again, adjusts, a dash more tartness for summer batches, a touch less sweetness for health-conscious lines. Enzymes might be added to break down starches, ensuring smoothness without added sugars. For sugar-free varieties, it's all natural, no shortcuts, just the apple's own bounty. The air buzzes with energy. This is where science meets art, where raw harvest becomes liquid gold. But curiosity peaks. Where do these apples hail from? Not just anywhere. Brands source from specific groves, cool Argentine valleys for Fuchsias with complex sugars, Washington State's misty orchards for Granny Smiths with bite. Consistency is king, soil, climate, even the bees' pollination patterns are scrutinized. A bad harvest in one region? Shift to another, seamlessly, to keep the flavor unwavering. No surprises, every sip must transport you back to that perfect orchard moment. The script hurtles toward climax as the juice flows into packaging lines, where bottles whirl on carousels at dizzying speeds. Fillers spout precisely measured doses, caps twist on with robotic precision, labels slap into place in a flurry of motion. Quality checks flash, lasers scan for fill levels, X-rays probe for contaminants. One anomaly, and the bottle is ejected, shattering the rhythm but saving the batch. The conveyor belts thunder on, cases stacking like fortresses, ready for shipment. Trucks wait outside, engines idling, to carry this elixir to stores worldwide. But pause for intensity. In this hidden world, human skill shines through the machinery. Operators with years of experience feel the vibrations, hear the subtle shifts in tone that signal trouble. They're the unsung heroes, battling fatigue and shifts that never end, ensuring perfection under relentless pressure. As the factory hums into the night, lights blazing like a city that never sleeps, reflect on the journey. From orchard to glass, apple juice isn't made, it's conquered. Through harvest's time to the second, washes that purify, grinds that pulverize, heats that sanitize, and blends that harmonize. Raw fruit defies decay to become something eternal. It's a testament to ingenuity, where fire tempers steel, speed outruns time, and precision demands flawlessness. Next time you pour that glass, feel the echo of the machines, the pulse of the process. This is the thrill of the unseen, the forge where nature meets industry in a dance of survival and splendor. If this gripped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more dives into the world's hidden battles, and tell me in the comments,